2025 Austrian Grand Prix race notes. Dick's race notes.
Well, the Austrian Grand Prix did not disappoint, did it? We got treated to an amazing battle between Lando and Oscar. Oscar was penalized a little bit because his qualifying wasn't that good compared to Lando. He was pretty significantly outpaced. But I think, as Oscar said after the race, Lando kind of earned this one. He was quicker at Austria than Oscar was, and so turnabout fair play. I thought they raced hard. They raced clean, clearly. It didn't come to tears, and it very well could have. And so McLaren scored a very impressive 1-2. I don't know what it is about McLaren, and particularly Lando. They just go well at Austria, don't they? I thought the midfield battle was fairly interesting. George Russell definitely had a lonely race to fifth place, whereas the Ferraris, they looked pretty darn good. I think Hamilton probably had his best race with Ferrari. Even though it was a fourth place finish, I think he was feeling a whole lot better about it. Williams suffered another just horrific weekend. It was, I used to talk about the cartoon anvil finding Fernando Alonso, but somehow he's had the cartoon anvil moved over and it's now dropping out of the sky on the Williams team. I don't know what has happened, but that double DNF did not help them in the constructors' fight at all. And I think the battle in the midfield is tightening up quite a bit. Beyond that, good for Liam Lawson. What a great result. He drove so well. So did Bortoleto. I thought he did a fantastic job. And of course, Fernando Alonso was the old fox and definitely found a way to keep Bortoleto behind him. But it was a great battle to watch. And so with all that said, I think it's going to be very, very interesting to see what transpires in basically less than a week now when we go to Silverstone for one of the classic Grand Prix out there. Aston Martin is supposedly bringing a big upgrade package. And in the hands of Alonso, that could make a big difference in the midfield battle in terms of the constructors' points. So that should be interesting. Sounds like most of the teams, though, are now moving on to developing the 2026 cars. So probably the only developments we're going to see, I think, going forward are going to be track-specific developments based on needs for the track. Bigger air cooling ducts for some tracks, like maybe the Hungaroring, or specific wings for greater downforce or less downforce, as the case may be. So I think we're settling into an interesting point of that season. I must say that the crash between Antonelli and Verstappen on lap 1 did some serious damage to Verstappen's hopes for being a contender for the World Driving Championship. So we'll see. Should be interesting. Looking forward to next weekend. Lots of intrigue certainly coming up here in the next few races.
Sabrina's race notes. Number 1, Kimi and Max. The crash between Kimi and Max is unfortunate for both drivers, especially for Max. However, it should have been expected with a P7 spot that getting out of those first few turns would be a bit treacherous. It's not something Max regularly has to contend with, so it's all the more deflating, especially for one of his home races. Number 2, Yuki. This was a prime moment for Yuki to shine. With Max out, he could have really brought in some good points. Even though I believe Yuki didn't have the upgrade package that Max received, I expected to see him drive a better race than he did. Instead, he struggled quite dramatically. Number 3, Lawson. Liam should have gotten driver of the day. He was P6 on the grid. He was hit on lap 1, lost 3 places, and then had Alonso behind him with DRS for the majority of the race and did a 1-stop and still finished P6. Number 4, McLaren. Lando and Oscar gave us an entertaining battle at the first part of the race, and I'm glad that McLaren allowed them to race. I'll be interested to see how this continues to play out next week, particularly since it'll be Lando's home race. Oscar still has a lead for the Drivers' Championship. It seems that the Drivers' Championship will be a McLaren driver, unless we assume neither McLaren driver will win in the next 2 races, and Max wins both of those races and gets some points elsewhere. Number 5. Fernando and Gabriel. Seeing Alonso and Bortoleto embrace after the race made my heart so happy, not to mention watching them throughout the race. I'm delighted Gabriel got his first points in F1. Number 6. Sauber. On that note, it's the first time this season for Sauber to get double points. Fantastic. Who would have thought at the beginning of the season, when it felt so painful to watch Sauber, that they would be leading Alpine? I'm delighted to see that they're making progress. Number 7. Ferrari. Charles held on for the entire race after losing P2 to Oscar to remain on the podium. Hamilton had a significant gap to Charles, but that said, the Ferraris had a significant gap to the rest of the field and didn't really face any threats from behind. Number 8. Mercedes. I didn't expect them to show well here, especially considering the heat. That said, I wasn't expecting Kimi to go out like he did. I'm wondering if it's a rookie mistake. Russell managed to get P5. Major points haul opportunity lost. Number 9. Williams. What is happening? Such a promising start to the season and now 2 DNFs? Number 10. Haas had a good race and found a good setup for their car in Austria.